Throughout history, there have pretty much always been wealthy people, people having so much wealth that would seem almost impossible to most of the population. And such ludicrously wealthy people have always had almost equally impressive ways to spend that wealth, like the ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, commissioning a super yacht that cost upwards of $500 million, or the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan ordering the construction of the Taj Mahal in memory of his wife Mumtaz, when she died giving birth to their 14th child. Today, we're going to talk about the man who, once passing through Cairo, managed to decrease the price of gold in the region for a decade through sheer generosity. Meet Mansa Musa I, one of the rulers of the historical Mali Empire of West Africa, and the man widely considered to be the richest person to ever walk on the face of this planet. His personal name was Musa, while Mansa was the title used for the rulers of the Mali Empire. Little to no information is available about Mansa Musa's early life before his ascension to the throne of the Mali Empire. And the ascension itself is not a topic safe from debate, but according to the version preferred by most modern historians, Musa came to power in the year 1312, after his predecessor's expedition to explore the Atlantic Ocean went awry. When he did not return, Musa, who had been appointed as a deputy ruler by the previous Mansa, was crowned as Mansa himself. Already a sizable kingdom, the Mali Empire would reach its territorial peak under Musa's rule, which could be one of the reasons that his reign is considered to be the golden age of the Mali Empire and the zenith of its power and prestige. And unlike his predecessor, Mansa Musa undertook pretty much all of his campaigns with solid ground beneath his feet, which was probably for the best. He was, by almost all accounts, a devout Muslim. So between 1324 and 1325, he embarked upon a journey to perform the Hajj, or pilgrimage to Mecca, the holiest city in Islam. This pilgrimage would serve as the introduction of the Mansa's wealth to the rest of the world, which could explain why much of what we know of Mansa Musa comes from Arabic sources written after this pilgrimage. Of the pilgrimage itself, there exist differing written records and oral testimonies, so it's tough to determine the exact details. But the extravagance of the journey is something that is commonly agreed upon. By some accounts, the caravan consisted of tens of thousands of people, with hundreds of heralds bearing gold-adorned staffs. The baggage train consisted of dozens of camels, each supposedly carrying about 300 pounds of gold. Talk about a travel budget. While the exact details might vary, suffice it to say, Mansa Musa traveled in style. On the way to Mecca, the procession passed many cities, among them Cairo in Egypt. It was here that the Mansa of the Mali Empire met the Mamluk Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad. Despite some initial awkwardness, the two rulers are reported to have got along well. Mansa Musa reportedly stayed in Cairo for 3 months. During this time, the Mansa and his entourage spent and gave away freely. By some accounts, they added so much gold into the market that it may have caused the price of gold in the region to fall for almost a decade. The entire pilgrimage reportedly took about a year. By the time Musa had returned, tales of his wealth and generosity had begun to spread. This is apparent by the inclusion of the Mansa in the 1375 Catalan Atlas, one of the important maps of the Middle Ages. On the map, Mansa Musa is depicted sitting on a throne, holding a scepter in one hand and a glittering gold nugget in the other. Mansa Musa had, quite literally, put himself on the map. Due to the sheer scale of his wealth, it is easy to forget that this is just one aspect of Mansa Musa's legacy. During his reign, the city of Timbuktu was annexed into the Mali Empire, and the city of Gao was either conquered or power was re-established over the city, depending upon which account you prefer. The construction of a palace in Timbuktu was ordered. The Djinguereber Mosque was built, which still stands today. The University of Sankore in Timbuktu was restaffed and became a center of learning, drawing scholars from far and wide, while Timbuktu itself became a center of trade and culture. All these factors likely contributed to the perception of this era as the golden age of the Mali Empire. Musa I, Mansa of the Mali Empire of West Africa, reportedly ruled for almost 25 years until his death in the year 1337. Although much like the year of his ascension, the year of his death is a matter of debate. After his death, the throne of the empire and the title of Mansa went to his son and later to his brother. But exactly how rich was this supposedly richest man in the world, and what was the source of said wealth? Let's focus first on the question that is easier to answer. That is, what was the source of Mansa Musa's immense wealth? It is widely believed that the major source of his extreme wealth was the control of the Mali Empire on the trade of gold and salt in the region, as well as some other materials. As for just how rich he was, that question is more difficult to answer. When you try to exactly estimate the wealth of historical figures so far removed from modern times, you run into some problems. First of all, in this case, it becomes hard to exactly quantify a fortune based on gold and salt. Also, while estimating the wealth of historical rulers like Mansa Musa, it's difficult to separate the personal wealth of the monarch from the wealth of the state. While efforts have been made, most economic historians agree that it's impossible to pin Mansa Musa's wealth down to a number, with most answers describing his wealth as simply indescribable. However, to get some idea of the sheer scale of his wealth, one needs to consider only this. Centuries after his death, and after the decline of the Mali Empire itself, Mansa Musa remains a symbol of stupendous wealth. Well, folks, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. How much wealth do you think Mansa Musa had? And who, if anyone, do you think could surpass him? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And of course, subscribe for more.